Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I'm your host, Thomas Faddis, alongside two other short track guys here in the studio. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07, Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman here locally at Five Flag Speedway, and 2021 sportsman champion, and Ted Baber of Ted Baber Video Productions here also locally in Pensacola, Florida. What's up, guys?
Good evening, sir. Let's go, Brandon. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon, for sure. It's either now or later, but it's going to come out some point.
Yeah, because NASCAR's screwing over Brandon Brown, so we just have to keep it up.
Well, I tell you what, we
have to represent.
Yeah, we talk about a break. The bigger circuits, which we don't get into really at all, have some sort of an off season, but this short track thing is really a quick turnaround, and we've got a lot. I mean, just being the first couple of weeks in the new year, we've got a lot to talk about already.
Oh, yeah. Well, the short track racing never stops. I mean, you go up north, they're still racing. It's when you run a late model, you pick where you want to go. That's, Derek Thorne's talking about doing that this year, running different places across the country. So how cool is that?
Keeps you busy.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to consider, you drive from California over here, you better bring everything, spare parts, and everything with you, because if you break and no one can fix it, guess what?
You can't just drive to your local shop and get it taken care of.
Yeah, you can't go back to the shop and fix it. So you have to bring the shop with you.
Right.
All right. Now, our last episode, last Wednesday, we were talking about the Tulsa shootout in the complex in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which really is a kickoff to the main event, which is this week, and it's going on as we speak right now, and is the Chili Bowl Nationals. And I do have to make a clarification with the Chili Bowl. It is the non-wing midgets. I believe last week I had mentioned that they had the wing sprint cars, but they're actually a midget, but they don't have the wing on it. They're kind of like the micro sprints that they did the Tulsa shootout, but not quite. So I just wanted to clear that up. The Tulsa shootout has been a major 359 races through that week in those 5 days. And right. And it was an incredible show. And the Chili Bowl Nationals going on now is at that same complex, 500,000 square feet, and it's just an amazing event.
Very much so. And those guys get it on. I mean, you imagine all the racing they're going to do, plus practice, plus everything else they got to do to get ready for that. And then you run the C, D, B, F, J,
whatever it takes.
The M main, the Z main, if they have to have one.
The alphabet main.
Yeah, to work your way in. And then if you're not top two in your heat race, you don't make it. We just watched a video earlier. Kyle Larson liked to not made it.
Yeah.
He liked to have to run a damn consolation race to get in. So, I mean, you make one mistake, you bounce off the cushion, or you get loose and flip over. And we saw that cool video of that one dude that flipped all the way over, landed on his wheels, and kept going. Dude, that is so wicked and awesome to see.
Did a vertical 360 with a backflip and got just right back on the wheels and didn't even get out of gas.
And only lost like one spot.
Exactly.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's why that race is a bucket list item, because it's super cool. It's fun. It's fun to watch. And those guys get it on. And you're talking about some of the best midget or race car drivers, period, in the country going out there and trying to make that show.
Yeah, Larson just climbed the berm just a little bit and got out of rhythm, and that's all it took.
Yeah, but luckily he made it by the skin of his teeth.
Very close.
Yeah, but that was actually Craig Ronk and Thomas Kunzman, Jonathan Beeson, R.J. Snow, and Gunnar Stetzer rounded out the top 5 in the Outlaws on Saturday night. And it's all about the Golden Driller. And it's like the Daytona 500 trophy, the clock at Martinsville. The Golden Driller in sprint cars, midgets, is what they're after. And the Tulsa Shootout is just as big as the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For those classes of cars, it absolutely is.
It'd be excellent racing, because it's so awesome to watch, though, dude. I want to be there live. I want to hear the noise. I want to smell the exhaust. I want to do this, man. We need to get a plan together. We got to rent something and drive that direction. We need to do that. I think it would be fun. That's like going to let's go to the All-American 400. Yeah. I may go to the Rattler this year, but it all depends on how far my car is along. If my car's not ready, I'm not going to go anywhere until that car is sitting on the ground ready to go to the racetrack. So
yeah, I just thought of something. How cool would this be is to get a charter bus and get some people, maybe 20, 30, 40, however many fit in the bus.
Right.
And buy tickets, and all of us go together and get a section and go to these races.
That'd be great.
That would be
awesome.
cool, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah. Go to Eldora. Go to,
Yeah.
all these races that we want to go to. Man,
The
that would
Slinger
be-
Nationals. We go to
Slinger
All
Nationals.
American.
Oh, yeah.
We go to Birmingham, Montgomery. We go to
Slinger Nationals and drink
Yeah.
beer in Wisconsin. That'd be awesome.
yeah,
Party with those people during Oktoberfest. How cool would that be?
Oh, wow.
and eat some cheese.
Eat some cheese. Yeah, get all stove up and then drink beer to clear it out.
Does GoFundMe fund things like that?
Hey, well, we just need to win the lottery. We need to keep playing till we win the lottery. Then we can just do whatever the hell we want, whenever the heck we want to do it.
Well, the rule would be that none of us that are on the bus that drive the bus.
Right.
No, it had to somebody drive
yeah.
the bus. Oh, yeah.
We'd have to have a bus driver.
But you'd have to behave yourself. No throwing up on a bus. No drinking till you get sick. We have to have some rules
Yeah.
because I went to a bachelor party like that one time, and the bus driver actually pulled over to Waffle House and kicked us all out of the bus. And made us call people to come get us because people were puking. And a dude threw up on the bus driver, and that was the last straw. I was like, we're pulling off. I said, everybody off.
That
Bye.
ruins the whole trip.
Yeah, goodbye. Everybody off.
That's a bug kill for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'd have to mind myself then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to sit up front. That's the way it's close to the door.
Get Thomas a bucket with a lid. Hey, hey, dude, if you're going to spew in this.
Yes. Please.
It looks like he's going to blow chunks.
Yeah, little kitty litter, to be good.
Well, I mean, the Tulsa shootout was a week and a half ago, and it was in the same complex. Now that the Chili Bowl's on, you can go to, your favorite source. It's out there.
Right.
You get videos and clips and everything, and we're going to get into a little bit more of that Chili Bowl because we got some interesting things that happened in the preliminaries last night with some of the top drivers that we've mentioned. But there's a really interesting story. We go from the Tulsa shootout and we go to Dillon Speedway in Dillon, South Carolina. And this was the street stock, or the New Year's Bash street stock race in Dillon. And I'm telling you, this is almost one I wanted to be at.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'd like to run it. That would be fun if we could rent a car from a team up there and just go up and race. I would love to drive that little track. It looks like a fun little racetrack. And I get updates on who was going to be in this race on Facebook. And there's a Dillon Motorsports New Year's Bash Facebook site. Right. And they will send you updates. This guy's going to be here. And they had a bunch of people from way up north that ran like Thunder in Vermont.
Yes.
And places like that ran. A lot of them guys made the show. But the drama, it was not on the racetrack. The drama was after the race.
After the race.
So.
And the guy that we're going to talk about is a Mr. Bobby Tumbleston III.
He got a little testy.
It just kind of got stupid. I mean, you win the race. That's great. The promoter went over and congratulated him. They went to the tech, rolled him on the scales. He was 55.6.
Yep.
Then they rolled him off and noticed the steering wheel was on the right side, so everything had to be in driver's position. They do that with us at Five Flags. Then it was 55.8 or 7. Yep. And then it went up, the last time we checked it, to 55.8. And then when they told him, we're going to roll you off, we're going to roll the other cars across, and then we're going to come back and check you again, this egghead fires his race car up and does a burnout on top of these people's scales, breaking the track scales.
Right.
Could have injured somebody. You imagine how the velocity of one of those scales coming out from under a tire.
Take your leg out.
You'd end up breaking somebody's leg severely or could kill them. And this egghead takes off. I'm sorry. If I was a promoter track, he would have went to jail until he wrote me a check for them scales. Yeah. But there was no sense in that. There was no sense in that. And who was it that ended up winning it, Thomas?
His name is Kyle Lynch.
Kyle Lynch. And boy, did you see how beat up that Camaro was?
Yeah.
It looked like a bag of walnuts down both sides. Dude, that was his only second career win.
Yeah, one of the biggest of his career.
Yeah. Sure. That's like me. My first win was the Rattler and the Rattlesnake at Op. Ooh. That was his second win in his career, is one of the biggest in the country for street stocks, asphalt street stocks, I should say.
Yeah, after that DQ, and that was immediate after he pulled off and told Ron Benefield, no, you ain't.
Yeah, and then dumped the clutch.
In a quote and he fired it up, dumped the clutch, and then spun off and tore the wires out of the scales. Then they moved everybody up, and it was Sonny Chapin, Austin Samaro, and Josh Sage, and Wayne Locklear ended up top 5, which after all said and done, it ended up being a great race, and I'm so happy for Kyle Lynch to have that. Was a beautiful Camaro at the beginning, but it looked like it had been to war and ended up coming out on top.
Where's he from? Did it say? I don't think it said where he was from, because like I said, there was a lot of guys from up north, and I swear I think he came from Vermont. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I think we got Ted checking on that. I didn't write that down.
But I will tell you this: he drove a good race, and he run second, solid. He wasn't like he was getting run away from. And when Mr. Tumbleson showed his backside acting like a jackass, and he's from like the Huntsville, Nashville area.
I think he won it last year.
Yeah, I think he did.
He was defending, and he led a lot of laps. And
but I'm going to tell you something. I get sick of people saying, "Well, at my house, the car scaled out differently." Well, you're not at your house. You go by the track scales. When I worked at Flomaton, we had another competing racetrack, and the owner and his son came up to race, and they were 50 pounds light. I said, "You need to put 50 pounds on the car." He said, "Well, my scales say," I'm like, "Where are you at?" "On the Flomaton Speedway." "What do my scales say?" "I'm 50 pounds light." "Then go put 50 pounds on the car. Because if you come across here 50 pounds light, I'm going to throw you out." I mean, you have to go by the track scales. That's why every time I'm at Five Flags, when I bolt on my new tires to race, I go over to the scales, because I don't want to get thrown out for something stupid. You know, I mean, if you know you're over on left, and that's not a little bit. Even the promoter, Ron Barfield, said, it's not a little bit, that's a lot. I got tossed for 0.1%, which I thought was ridiculous. But if you're over three tenths, no, you're cheating. You did that, and you know you did it, and you got caught, and then you want to show you're behind like a jackass, and that's on you, dude. You deserve to get tossed. Period. Yeah, and that's fine. But congratulations to Kyle. Good job. You did it right. You didn't do anything stupid. You won the race, and like I said, the New Year's Bash is a cool race. That's another one I wouldn't mind racing. I wouldn't mind going up there and running that race just to say I did it.
Yeah, and we're going to have some of those replays and highlights on our Facebook page. Short Track Guys podcast on Facebook. And you look at some of the throwback schemes that were in that race too. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, the guy, I can't think of his name, that came down here and raced with us and had a Hardee's look to the car, and he ran that race, and I want to say his name was Ledbetter. I'm not 100% sure, but he came down here and raced with us, and they totally reconfigured the car to come run with us. And they were supposed to come run the Derby, and I haven't heard from the guy that did it, because I gave him my number. I told him, I said, "Man, I'll help you any way I can," and never heard from him. But they said they were running the New Year's Bash. I don't think with that car, but they had a really cool Hardee's number 28 paint scheme from Kel Yarborough's an 84 Monte Carlo.
Right.
Really sharp. And they had somebody running Alan Kowicki, a 97 from his ASA days. Man, I love
the 25 Folgers, Tim Richmond throwback, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was a good-looking race car. Yeah. That was always sharp.
The 12th annual New Year's Bash at Dillon Motor Speedway in Dillon, South Carolina. Don't miss it next year. I'm telling you, they're all going to come back and go back at it. So, congratulations to Kyle Lynch. I know it's a big win, and man, it only takes one win like that to open up a lot of good stuff.
True, and the thing is, I hope Mr. Tumbleson's banned from that place. That's all I'm going to say about it. I congratulations, Kyle, but I think that man ought to be banned if he doesn't buy the track a new set of scales. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be more to that in the coming days. With the reports and the news and everything, with all the media that was there. I'm not going to mention them, but if you've got a source, I'm sure you're going to hear stories about that. He's got an interview out there, and I don't know. It just a bad way to end up with a great race and a great 12th annual New Year's Bash with street stocks. And we don't talk a lot about that stuff with street stocks and some other stuff. It's mostly late models, pro late model supers and stuff. But that was a big race, and what a way to end up with Kyle Lynch coming up, winning it the way he did. I'm sure it's probably not the way you want to win a race, but somebody in tech that shows their rear end.
Hey.
I just congratulations, Kyle.
I have won a few of them in tech, and I'm going to tell you something. It's so easy to pass them in that tech shed than it is on that racetrack, I promise you. And it's fun. But you don't need to show your butt. Be a good loser sometimes. You're going to have to. It's going to happen. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. BJ Latham, I won second to him one night, and he had an illegal carburetor spacer, and he was man enough to take the trophy, hand it to me, shake my hand, and congratulate me.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. It shows a little character, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You don't do stuff like that. That's just ignorant. You know you're wrong. The car's wrong. The scales show you wrong. Let the other cars get on there. Now, if they're way off, like, say, the second place car's got 55.6, and he didn't have it before the race, and the third place car, then there's a problem with the scales.
Right.
Then you have an argument. You can say, hey, wait a minute, these guys are that far off too, then it can't be right. Then you may win the race. But when you dump the clutch on the scales and destroy the track scales, you're done anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not give it a chance? Because that Kyle dude could have rolled up there and his scales were wrong. Wait a minute. We got a problem with this leveling of the scales. Then they could go back and look at the scales, and then Mr. Tumbleson may have won the race.
Right. Well, their left side weight rule is 55%.
Yes.
Yeah.
55.0%. And he was not only on the scales once, but three times, and had the opportunity to roll forward and let the other guys come through to make sure that the scales were correct. And that's when he just kind of flipped a switch and went off. And there's no at that point, Mr. Benefield said,
okay, you're
that's
done.
when he's done.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Yeah,
anybody that doesn't, I don't have anything for you.
No, I don't either. You don't destroy the track's equipment. You just don't do stupid stuff like that. Sorry, end of discussion.
Right. You can be mad. You can get over it. That's it.
That's it. Get glad the same shoes you got mad in.
Yep.
Even if they're clown shoes, because you sure look like a clown. That's all I can tell you.
Well, the 12th annual New Year's Bash, man, it held up to its name, the New Year's Bash. The bash is really the word that sticks out to me.
Right.
Yes.
And then we can go from Dillon, South Carolina to New Smyrna with the Red Eye 50/50. And like I said at the beginning, we have not had a turnaround. I mean, a break. We don't take 3 months off and it's really literally about 2 weeks, and we get right back into it. Mm-hmm. And this is the Red Eye 50/50, which is a 50-lap super and a 50-lap Pro Late Model race down in New Smyrna. Lo and behold,
our boy Bubba Pollard, son.
Who kicks off the new year with a win?
Bubba Pollard.
Yes, sir.
Our man. Yeah. Glad to see it, man. He needed that for sure. And he's sponsored by the TM Ranch, which is used to be David Rogers, and the race was named after David Rogers. And congratulations that I think his qualifying was David Rogers. Right. Who lost his life to cancer, who was a fixture down there and a winner of that race himself. And it was glad to see old Bubba Pollard put her back in victory lane, show that he hasn't lost his touch yet. And you better look out, because I think 2022, the 26 car, TM Ranch sponsored car, is going to kick some butt.
Yeah, I would happen to agree with you too. And Brad May comes up second. Jesse Dutilli, Jesse Love from all the way out there. I think it's Elk Grove, California. I know he's a California boy, but he's all the way over here. And then Daniel Dye finishes fifth. But man, what a pleasure it was to see that picture with Bubba standing right next to that 26 TM Ranch Super Late Model in the win for 2022. And, man, he just kicked off the season.
Yep. Yeah, he did. And he's going to be tough this year. I think he's taking a little hiatus. Somebody posted on Facebook that, up at the Sonoya Raceway, they've got a 2-seater dirt late model, and he got to ride with Bubba. Dude, you know how cool that would be? I would pay $150, $200 to ride with Bubba Pollard. I'm not lying. If they'll let me do that, if anybody gets a hold of him, send him my way, because I would love to get in a super dirt late model and hang on, let that man drive the snot out of it. He said he looked over and Bubba was one-handing that dirt late model around that racetrack. So I just want to throw that in there. But congratulations, Bubba. We're glad to see you back, man. And we look forward to a great 2022 season, and watch that 26 car kick some behind.
Yes, sir. I agree with that totally, 100%.
Thank you for the memories, Bubba, because you are a driver. We're all Bubba Pollard fans here, because we have a fender off the 26 car that was off the car that he won at Five Flag Speedway last year with. Yep. And it's in our studio, and we're all Bubba Pollard fans, because there is only one Bubba in professional racing, and that's Bubba Pollard.
Yes, sir. It's signed. Number 26 is sitting in our studio, and we really appreciate it. We're huge Bubba Pollard fans, and we thank you for all you have done for racing and everything you stand for, and we look forward to a big 2022 season from you.
He's starting it off right.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly right. Now we're going to move into what the big race is at that Tulsa complex, the SageNet Center, the 500,000 square foot complex that the Tulsa Shootout just got through with the Chili Bowl. Man, we've gone through some preliminaries here in the last couple of nights. The Wednesday night preliminary is going on tonight. We don't know what's going on, but last night we had a preliminary with Kyle Larson and some of the big names. Tim McCready from the dirt late model side going in, and Buddy Kofoid holds off Kyle Larson to win his preliminary and gets into the show Saturday night's shootout.
And it was not easy. I mean, Larson was on him like quite on rice.
He didn't make a mistake. Larson did, though. Larson had him on the outside and hit the bank and screwed up. So, yeah, Buddy Kofoid, congratulations making a race. And it's going to be an interesting show when they drop the green flag for the main feature. But, oh, man, can you imagine being in that building? I just, like I said it earlier, I just would love to go and sit and watch this because I've heard it's just, you can drink, you can do what you want, have a good time. That's what I'm screaming.
Yeah, I wonder how far in advance you have to get tickets for something.
I'm sure you can get them. I don't think it's not like it's the old Bristol days when somebody had to die for you got a ticket to Bristol.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad right now, but it's certainly one of our dumpster. We got to a dumpster list now.
Yeah,
I think so. Somebody had an industrial sized semi truck dumpster.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get into like a wasteland list before we're done with it.
High capacity dumpster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And had to tow it with a semi truck to get it there now.
Yeah, and one thing that's going on with this Chili Bowl, I want to make a big shout out to Kaylee Bryson. She has a shot at Chili Bowl history on Saturday. She's 20 years old in a Toyota, trying to become the first woman to make the feature on a Saturday night. Ooh. And
good luck.
Starting her B main on Saturday night, she will join Bev Gibbs in 1989 as the second female racer to start the semi-main in championship Saturday at Tulsa Expo Center. So, good luck to her. I think she's got the equipment. She's got the team behind her to make that happen. And man, my hat's off to her for getting out there and getting it dirty with the guys. You know, she wants to be recognized as a racer. And, not stop this gender thing, guys, girls, whatever. She's a race car driver.
Yep.
And she's getting after it in that complex. And she's just, hopefully she can make it Saturday night. And I wish her all the best in the world.
Get up on the wheel.
I'd like to see it too. I think that the biggest problem with women is there's too many of them that aren't that talented, and there's a lot of them that are, and the ones that are don't get the proper rides.
Right.
And that's the way I've always looked at it. It's not about money. It should be about talent, what you can do, and good luck to her, and I hope she makes it. Well, it's going to be an interesting season, I can tell you that. We had our awards banquet Saturday night, and got my accolades, my trophy, and my jacket, which I won't talk about that because there's some frustrating parts to that part. But anyway, I got to thank a few people real quick. Ted, thank you so much. You were there, Thomas. Martin Beck and his family, his daughter and her boyfriend Chris and all those guys, Samantha, everybody that comes out and helps me. Thank you so much for doing what you do for us. Will Hay, like I said, I can't say enough about him. He was a fan. He came on board, got us some T-shirts made before the banquet. Will,
cool. I like
thank you. Thank you so much for what you do. Yeah. Ben Cranford, who was supposed to be at the shop welding on the car tonight, but his truck broke down. So, Ben, thank you for getting started on that chassis the other night, and we'll get it done. And I got all the confidence in the world in you. Thank you.
Frank was there.
Frank, you'd see my spotter, who's been with me since 97. I appreciate the heck out of you for being there. Suzanne, thank you for being there. And just everybody who helps. I got to thank Victor Herm at Premier Auto Tinting. He's going to come on board with us this year and help us out some. The All Pools, I got him some business. My buddy Jim needed a pool liner, and I gave him his number. So, there you go, Rich. I got you some business. So we need some help with the race car. And just Tech Master and you, Ted, of course, and Emerald Coast Remodeling and Trim. And last but never least is James Pfeiffer with Can't Quit Fishing. He was there with us Saturday night. And, man, he has stood beside me, old high school buddy, and just when I need help, he helps me out, and I appreciate that. And thank you to all the fans. Jim and his girlfriend that was there with us, she is always a support for me. Her and Jim are always there yelling for me. And thanks to all the fans. And just we look forward to 2022 and trying to defend our championship.
Yeah, we were there Saturday night with the banquet, and you gave a very memorable speech and thanked everybody there. And we appreciate the support, and everybody that supports us and supports you and supports short track racing. It's really our motivation. It's why we keep doing it. And we appreciate that. And thank you for, providing us the excitement each and every time you go out and buckle in that car. And I know from experience what it's like. So just thanks for being in the studio, Ted. It's always a pleasure to get with you guys and talk short track racing. We get so excited and we try to get our notes, but sometimes they're scrambled a little bit. And I think Ted said early on in this whole thing that we've got going on, it's like, would you say organized chaos?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but we enjoy it, and it kind of gets emotional for me because it's what I love,
Right.
and I know
All
you
three
guys
of us.
too.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a good core going on here, and we want to continue to do that and provide all the information we can to everybody out there. So thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. And you guys...
Get us your information, too. If you got an event coming up, let us know about it.
Yeah,
We'll try to get it covered.
Right.
Or if you got a driver you want interviewed, we would love to have people on here, and we're going to work on that a lot in 2022 and maybe do some video and some other different things this year. But we look forward to making y'all smile and have fun to talking about what we love to talk about, which is short track racing. Thank you to all of you out there. And once again, let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, and Ted Baber.
Yep.
Ted_Baber at yahoo.com.
That's it. And
Jim Pokrant.
Yeah.
JBP.
JBP07 at hotmail.com. Send me a message. Let me know what you got going on. Get with Thomas.
with
Let's
me.
get on the website.
Yeah.
Give us a 5-star review, which you can do now on Spotify if you go into the settings. On our podcast, please. It helps us move up the charts. It helps us grow. If you help us grow, we'll get better and things will get even more fun.
Yeah, on a note, on top of that is we just moved to number 6
All right.
in the short track racing podcast
yeah.
across all the platforms. So
Wow.
we appreciate
Awesome.
that, and we're gonna try to go all the way to the top and compete with some of the others that
It'd be interesting.
that we won't mention. But we were at number 7 for a while, but then here just recently we just moved to number 6. So we're awfully proud of that. We still have the koozies out, products coming in. We've got T-shirts and hoodies, all kinds of stuff coming in. So your support is our motivation. That's really as good as I can say it, and we appreciate all the support, and thank you for listening.
Thank you. Have a great night.